Welcome back to Civil Wars. I'm William Spaniel, and this lecture is on incentives to misrepresent. So we've talked a lot about how incomplete information can be the reason that war starts, and it's actually not the full story. Incomplete information alone is not sufficient to explain why wars occur. After all, if uncertainty is the problem that causes war, that's true because we know that with complete information, we see peace. With incomplete information, we can see the possibility of war. If that's the case, if uncertainty is the problem, why don't you just reveal the information that you have hidden? So you're a rebel group, you know something about your probability of victory that the government doesn't know, and you know that with complete information, you'll have a peaceful offer that will be settled, and everyone will go home happy. Why don't you just reveal the information that you know that the other side doesn't know and resolve this incomplete information problem? And the issue, of course, is the title of this lecture, Incentives to Misrepresent. The problem is that it is not easy to credibly reveal your strength. Imagine that both the weak type and the strong type honestly declare their strength. So the idea here, again, is to resolve incomplete information. You just reveal whether you're strong or you're weak. So if I'm a weak rebel, I know that I'm weak, and I say, hey, government, guess what? I'm weak. And if I'm a strong type, I say, hey, government, guess what? I'm strong. And all information is then revealed. Well, given that everyone is speaking the truth here, the government responds to this by offering more to the strong type, because the strong type has a better chance of winning in war than the weak type does, and the government will offer less to the weak type. And the government is going to structure these offers in a way that both are going to accept, because the government wants to avoid the costs of war, and of course, with incomplete information, it's always going to choose an offer within the bargaining range. What's the problem here? Well, the problem is that one side has incentive to lie. So think about this for a moment. Think about if you're a weak type and you lie, what you get, and think about what happens if you're a strong type and you lie, what do you get? Well, if you're a strong type, it's clear that you don't want to lie and tell the government that you're weak, because the government will then offer you less. On the other hand, if you are the weak type and you lie, guess what happens? Well, the government is under the impression that everyone is telling the truth, everyone is credibly revealing their information, and so because you as the weak type lie and say you're the strong type, the government takes you at your word here and offers you more. Now, this, of course, would make you happier as the weak type, and so you have this incentive to misrepresent your strength. If the government comes and asks you how strong you are, you're going to lie and say that you're strong even if you're weak, because you would like to be able to get the offer that the strong type is receiving. And of course, the strong type wants to say that it's the strong type as well, and so as the government, you can't really learn anything here. You can't resolve this incomplete information because the weak type is going to lie and say that it's strong. So to recap here, strong types receive better deals than weak types, and because of this, weak types have incentives to misrepresent their strength and lie about how strong they are. And because of this incentive to lie, or this incentive to misrepresent, simple communication, or what we call in the industry cheap talk, is not sufficient to resolve incomplete information problems. However, there is another way to transmit information, and that's what we're going to discuss in the next lecture when we talk about the principle of convergence. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.